Welcome back to Influential Dental, where we are bringing on some of the world's most influential leaders in dentistry or in the dental space. And we're so excited today for our guest. But before I introduce him, I want to introduce my co-host, Mike Keeter, and I'm Julieanne O'Connor. We're thrilled to have you. This is going to be a really quick episode. We're actually recording live at an event right now. And so we're just going to kind of roll with this and then cut it off and then bring this guest back on another time.
Yes. Hey, Julieanne. Great to be here. And we're at ADI 2025. So exciting to be with our next guest. And let's get right to it.
All right. So Dr. Fatmi and I actually met on social media. Very excited about that. And he just spoke for us at this event. And so I'm going to let you introduce yourself because we're just getting to know each other. And you're an influencer and you're doing some incredible things in the industry, really inspiring people. I was so inspired by your talk. I was really pleasantly surprised beyond description. And so welcome to Influential Dental. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Dr. Naved Fatmi. I'm from Palm Beach, Florida. 3 locations, all in the same 10, 20-mile speaker for multiple companies, ex-board chairman. So right now I'm in the time of my life that I want to grow my practices and spend time with my kids, and just have a nice, family?
How many kids?
2 kids.
2 kids, and how old are they?
My daughter is 9, Amira, and my son is 6.
Nice. 6 is such a fun age. 9 is an interesting time. I don't know if you know what's happening developmentally with a 9-year-old, but they're going through a time where they start to notice reality. Have you ever heard this? And all of a sudden, you're no longer the savior for all things. And so it's actually a time where it can hit their nervous system a little bit harsh. And so it's a great time to really cushion it and give them magic, give them really soft things and just enjoy, because otherwise they're already taking in reality and it's brutal for them and they can't articulate it. So you don't know they're going through that. So it's called the 9-year change.
Yeah. And Julieanne has 3 daughters. So she speaks from experience.
It's like a personality change, a physical change. There's a lot happening.
And I have a daughter and a son as well. So yeah, it's
How old
exciting.
are you?
Mine are 28 and 26. So enjoy them when they're young, but I loved every age with them. And it's a magical time. We just did get done with your talk. And as Julieanne said, it was phenomenal. I really just liked your no nonsense approach. You really reached the audience and you're really just sharing them your experiences and your failures. And you're very vulnerable and just straight to the case. What makes you that type of way? And why is that so important in dentistry today?
I think that's where we all learn the most from, right? And that's where I've learned the most from people before me, is when someone does something and where did they mess up and how can they improve? It's our job, the generation of my age group and dentists and people older than me, to help the next generation do better than us. It's a very simple way of thinking. We don't want to pull people away from dentistry and healthcare is what we see now, right? They're saying it's too much student loan. They're saying it's too much time commitment, flexibility of life that maybe the dentist who's in their 70s and 80s. Goal is to make that easier for them, that transition of buying their first practice, just for a DSO, and say there's no right answer. Is what you want your life to look. Do you want to go home to your friends or family, loved ones, time with, with your faith? And I think that's part of dentistry that we're not talking about enough. We're constantly talking about the new implants, the new veneers, the new aesthetic cases, and that's overloaded social media in the last 5 years, if you guys.
Yeah. And I one of the things I loved about your talk and just about how we originally connected was that you talked about how you can learn more from your failures. And one of the things that's so inspiring is to hear you be able to share some of that yourself. So tell us a little bit about, some of the things that you have overcome, because you've created a tremendously successful, slew of practices. And so, give an example to the audience of something that you've had to deal with that you overcame. I also love that you are against the comparison thing, that it's personal. It's a personal journey, right? But just give us an example of that.
Right. So let's start from the beginning, right? I took the DAT 3 times, applied to dental school twice, almost failed out the second year, just the course load. And I know a lot of people can relate to this. Maybe I bought a practice. I ended up with 5 practices at a time, one time, and not all of them were performing to the level I wanted to. Trimmed it down to 3. Getting more marketing dollars, more staff members, and just having more locations doesn't mean you're succeeding. My failures were had to take line of credit sometimes to pay the payroll or pay vendors. It really hits. Like, what are you doing wrong? And when you fail like that, when you fall flat on your face, is when you learn. And then at this stage of my life, I'm blessed, right? So all three practices are above and beyond performing. They have less staff members. They're doing more. They're happier. And I don't work on more locations now. I'm currently working on the culture of the office and the EBITDA, the profitability in each office versus more and more.
Right, right. Well, that's amazing. And Julianne and I, with Influential Dental, influence can take many facets, right? You can be influential in your humility, your transparency, which obviously we hear from you. You can be influential other ways. My question is what does that word mean to you? And for yourself personally and the dental community or the dentists that are out there now, how can they influence and in your eyes?
I think first you need to understand yourself. What is the most important to you? And there's no right answer. Is it wrong to say, I want to work 2 to 3 days a week and have a comfortable lifestyle? You have to own it and say, yeah, and that's okay. Right. And at this stage of my life, I have to leave early and I want to. I want to go pick up my kids at 2, 3 o'clock, 2 to 3 days a week. Does it make me, what's the new word everybody uses? Does it make me less driven,
Right.
less
No.
aggressive? No, you have to own what you want. And I think you become influential telling the world that. And then it's okay. You are enough. And you mentioned
So
that today.
yeah.
That you're enough. But realize who you are first.
Yeah, so it's interesting because you and I both speak all over. Mike also now is speaking. One of the things that I hear a lot is doctors come up and they're like, I was so inspired, but I don't even know what I want to do. And in fact, I got an email, what was it, 2 days ago from a doctor from Canada who literally was saying, man, I just want to do something more, something different, something, I have this he's very successful. It's not a question of success. On paper, but it's a question of success in terms of owning who we are. How do you do that? Like, how do you tell somebody to do, like, how to find themselves if they're really lost? Sometimes people don't know who they are.
And that's the book I mentioned to you is coming out end of the year in the next 2 or 3 weeks. It's called Realistic Goals. And that's exactly that. It is geared towards that person in business. It doesn't have to be healthcare. That's went to school, is making money, bought their house, is comfortable, right? And the word success means different to the person viewing the other side. And they're stuck now. And exactly what you said, what are they doing next? And that next thing is not always money or professional. I think we're stuck in that. And that's not our fault. That's not our fault. That's
It's
what culture
trained.
has made. Hey, if you move up the ladder, you're successful. If you made more money, you're successful. In our dental world, if you do more cool procedures, you're successful. You have more locations, you're successful. Wrong. I think that's the wrong answer. I'm very comfortable saying that publicly. The right answer is, where are you comfortable? It's happy. In this table,
Right.
there's 3 different answers for what's happy.
Well, and that's amazing. And it is a personal journey. You cannot know yourself until you know your why.
Yes.
And your why isn't mine or yours or Julianne's. It truly is your own journey. And you mentioned you're not afraid to talk about it. I think we need more people to stand out for what they believe in for their own personal. You said you don't mind talking about politics or faith or religion and all of it, and to be comfortable doing that and to own it. And so I think in all careers, and I recently went through a transformation. I'm very happy to be it. It took me 56 years, but I am now and I am evolving and we can always evolve. So I love that refreshing that it's real and you speak from the heart and it is about the journey. So what's that look like for you now moving forward? You do have a book coming out. I can't
I
wait
have
to
a book
read
coming
it.
out. And I'm going to go to your statement you just said. I have a non-profit foundation called ANN, which is Amira and Noah, my 2 kids. And naturally, anytime I bring that up, the first thing people think is, hey, is it dental related? And the answer is no, it's not. Shelters will help kids, will help learning facility. We just worked with a school for Thanksgiving.
It's amazing.
Right? And that's
You're right up.
it's not dental.
This is
Yes.
right up our alley. I mean, unquestionably. So, I have. I don't know if you know this or not, but I have 3 children, and 2 of my daughters are adopted out of the foster care system, and so Mike and I have a soft spot in our heart
Love that.
for children who, uh, you know, maybe have, I mean, all of them do. They have tremendous potential, but they're maybe just not being supported, right? And sometimes you just need one person. I think there's some statistics around this. If just one person expresses that they believe in you and see your potential, it can make all the difference in the world. And you shared a slide show at the beginning of your talk today, which brought up all of these greats, these incredible people that we all know as a household name of somebody who's inspired everybody. Yet they all had a story of what they had overcome. And they were really intense things and scrutiny and so many judgments. Tell us a little bit, why'd you choose that as the opener, and how has that kind of inspired you to figure out who you are by looking at other people? Because, I think it's okay. Sometimes we don't know where we're at. We don't know what the next thing is. And we got to take time to actually figure that out. But these figures who have these stories are inspiration, right? So how has that inspired you, and why that for your opener?
First word that comes to my mind when you said that is, what's with that video?
Yeah. Oh,
Right.
absolutely.
So all these people, and you guys can look this up, look up failures. It's on YouTube, famous failures. It starts with Michael Jordan. He was a soccer player. And we think that they were born that way. They have some special skill, some special talent. People that we see that are in the social world. Right.
Yeah.
And the common denominator was perseverance. They failed
Yeah.
7, 8, 9, 10 times.
Yeah,
Right.
I
But
love that. Yeah, we have to wrap up really quickly, which is why you may have heard an alarm, because we are recording live and Mike and I are co-hosting this event and we need to get back up on stage. But that said, it's been such a pleasure. And, all of these figures that you mentioned are an inspiration to us, but so are you. And it's the usual person that can be such an inspiration so often. And I think we take that for granted, and we need to connect more and really have conversations. And that's why I think we're having so much fun at this event, is because people have the opportunity to do that. Things we've heard the most about this event is that it's intimate enough that it's not just people running by each other like some of the bigger conferences. There's a place for both, right?
And you
But
guys are doing a great job. So, this is the first time I'm in this conference, and the couple people I've ran across, they feel like they can really engage, and they're not afraid to ask questions. They're not afraid to be involved. And some of the other conferences they're almost afraid to ask, or they're sitting in the back. So you guys are doing a great job of keeping that.
appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. And so, where can people find you? Obviously, you're very active in social media and outreach. So, before we wrap up, can you share with the audience on how they can reach you?
My social media is DRNAVD, Dr. Naved Fatmi, all together, one word, South Florida, Naved Fatmi.
You'll
Easy.
notice him. Trust me, you can't help it. It's such a pleasure. I know this is a quick episode. I'd love to have you back on the show at some point.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate your time.
Yes, and we do. And we look forward to talking with you more, and look forward to hopefully some big things, maybe some collaborations in the future.
Thanks
Yeah.
for having me.
Check us out also on Influential Dental as our social media handle. So you can follow us there and see what else we have going on. So thank you again.